The 20th century was the bloodiest in history. 250 million people died in wars, mass slaughter, on political murders. The ideology known as communism is the greatest responsibility for this terrible savagery. This is an ideology that promises so-called equality and justice, but which brings with only bloodshed, death, and fear. In this film, we shall be examining the bloodiest century of communists and seeing the terrible misery this ideology inflicted on humanity. Will be impossible were to avoid similar tragedies in the future, unless it learns from the past. It was the middle of 19th century. Two German philosophers living in England were trying to formulate an ideology that would rock the world. The first time they revealed their ideas was the Communist Manifesto, which had been published some time before. One of these two philosophers was Karl Heinrich Marx, the other Friedrich Engels. These two believed in the philosophy known as materialism, which claims that nothing exists apart from matter actually. Materialism was an ancient dogma which had been put forward by Greek thinker Democritus. During the French Revolution, however, a number of European thinkers took materialism back off the shelf, dusted it off, and began propagating it again. Their aim was to do away with religious beliefs, and materialism was the only philosophy they could put up against the religions. While supporting materialism, on the other hand, Marx and Engels turned to a method known as dialectics, which claimed that conflict was the basic law of nature. For that reason, their theories came to be called dialectical materialism. Dialectics was a hypothesis maintaining that all development in the universe comes about as a result of conflict. The two philosophers attempt to interpret the history of the world in terms of dialectical materialism. Marx wrote books on history and economics, attempting to make these conform to the dogma, and Engels did the same for science and philosophy. The relationship between Darwinism and Marxism grew even stronger. Marxists adopted the theory of evolution as their own scientific foundation. This duly spread under the influence of Darwinism. The books of Marx and Darwin appeared together in communist posters. The Franco-Prussian War in 1870 for the first experiment in the revolution. Marx, A Dream of Themes, is in the first part. In this film, we examine the building development of communism ideology. Williams giving, as we have seen many, as not matter how much they promised they would bring peace and justice to the world.